Welcome ladies and gentlemen. In today's video I will try my best to explain to you how Vanguard zombies will behave, because personally I've seen a lot of confusion throughout the zombies community, and I myself have been a bit kind of confused as to how this zombies experience will work. Is it round based? Is it onslaught? Is it outbreak? Which one does it favor more? Which one is it? Because if you don't know, these are supposed to be combined together to create our first experience of Vanguard zombies, and I'll try to explain to you if this is, well, round based or the other two. Before we fully get into that though, be sure to subscribe, be sure to drop a like on the video. We are super close to 30,000 subscribers and we're on the road for that before the release of Vanguard, so that is pretty epic. And also, you know, dropping a like really helps out. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So after rewatching the behind the scenes too many times, after trying to discover all of the blog posts that Treyarch sprinkled around the internet for us to try to discover, I found out that there's a place where they fully explain to us how a typical match will behave, what enemies you will encounter, and things like that. And I'll try to explain to you as best as I can to, you know, just make it as simple as possible. So Treyarch explains that a typical match starts in Stalingrad, which is Red Star, the first map we spawn into. If you've played the beta, you might remember it. It is this snowy map, pretty poo-poo map, not a fan of it, but thankfully it is very much changed up for the zombies experience and looks actually pretty cool with like a lot of demonic stuff and magic stuff, and you know, I'm pretty hyped for seeing that than playing it on multiplayer a bunch of times. They go on to say there's a small starting area where you can fight zombies, access several upgrade machines, view the initial 3 objective portals, and a few other surprises. So this is basically the hub area. This is where you're always going to spawn into and always going to be taken back and explore most of it. So first thing I want to say is I'm not 100% sure how this area will behave, but I'm going to say that maybe potentially this area will have normal rounds. Because if you don't know, you will be teleporting into the 3 portals that they said, 3 objective portals, and those 3 locations are Hotel Royale or Hotel Royal, which is in Paris, beta map as well, and multiplayer. A second location called Merville, I'm pretty sure. It's basically a farm with the windmill, which is also, I'm pretty sure, a multiplayer map and potentially a campaign location. And lastly, something that a lot of zombie fans from previous games know is Shinonuma. So we'll be able to go through those 3 locations and do objectives there. By completing objectives in those locations, you will be able to come back to Stalingrad, Red Star, and open up more locations. Now, I'm not 100% sure if opening up these locations will be just by completing objective and you'll be able to choose which one, or if you'll have to complete objectives to not only get access to opening up new locations with essence points, or the brand new kind of weird salvage system, which is runes. Now, the objectives on these maps are firstly Blitz, which is like a kind of holdout round, but I guess better because it looks like it's a way more open area. Harvest, which involves you picking up certain runes from zombies and delivering it to a pillar. And lastly, transporting of a head. That's all I know it as. You transport a head floating, I guess maybe feed it with like souls or something, I don't know, but basically transport head to finish the objective. Those are the 3 that we know, and those are potentially the only 3 that we'll have. Now, from looking at the trailer and everything like that, they will kind of differentiate from different locations, and I don't know if you'll just like, oh, I want to go to Shinonuma, and once you go into Shinonuma, you only then know the objective, or beforehand, before going into the certain location, will you already know which objective will be where? Now, they go on to say for shorter matches, players will want to pick up and choose the objectives and locations they feel they will have the best chance of succeeding in. So I guess that kind of explains that you will be able to know which objective is where, or focus on opening up portions of the map that contains the perks they prefer, so you will be able to choose which location you want to open in Stalingrad to choose a certain perk. It won't be like, oh, you have to specifically go to this location and open it up only. For longer play sessions, players will need to plan more thoughtfully to open up even more of the map and aim for personal records. Now, this is the interesting thing. So this doesn't furthermore explain if it's going to be round based. I want to take a guess. I'm going to say this. The way I am looking at this mode is, it's a round-based experience, but with extra steps. So basically think of it this way. You have to complete objectives to get power. Obviously, I'm not saying that's how it's going to work, but opening up more doors in Stalingrad Red Star will involve you completing objectives, and to go further you'll need to complete objectives to get more points, more runes, and things like that. One thing that I really hope this experience will be like is that you can stay in Stalingrad, since zombies are said to spawn in there, and hopefully treat it as a normal round-based map, and you will hopefully be able to go, let's say, on Shinonuma, Hotel Royal, or the Merville map, farm one, and complete normal round-based rounds, because in the behind the scenes they kept on mentioning that there is a classic experience still with this and that there are rounds and higher rounds, but they go on to also say that the higher up you go, the more objectives that you complete, the more difficult the zombies will be. So that's where I kind of think that maybe it's not fully round based, but it's objective based. But if you look at Outbreak on Cold War, it's called waves, I'm pretty sure, instead of rounds. Obviously this is a totally different game and they can just go ahead and call it rounds instead now, but it's a bit disappointing. Now another thing you can look at is there is a part in the behind the scenes where they show, it says the world grows stronger or something like that, which is the classic thing that Outbreak says. So I'm still a bit confused, but hopefully this explains some things. It will be round base mixed with Onslaught, mixed with Outbreak. We don't fully know how this will work yet. We will hopefully get an explanation in the future, obviously closer to the release of Vanguard Zombies and Vanguard in general on November 5th, where Treyarch will go out of their way to fully explain to us how this works, because if it is round based, if you can just progress through the rounds normally and just go up to round 100 with ease without completing too many objectives, then I'm all for this. But personally, if I'm going to have to complete the same 3 objectives to progress through the rounds, man, that's going to be boring. That is going to be extremely disappointing if that's the case. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it is still round based, you can still progress through the rounds, you won't have to specifically always complete the objectives, maybe just to collect like stuff to open up the map, and that's about it. We're about to see everything exactly. They're doing some very interesting changes to Vanguard Zombies, but I'm here for it. We will be making a bunch of videos for it. We will be grinding it from launch to unlock the camos, to unlock stuff, to help you out guys with guides, to create new series and stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you are looking more forward to it. Fingers crossed it's more round based than anything. Fingers crossed it's good. And I'll see you all in the next one. Also, oh, before I fully leave you and you're still watching, I also made like kind of a breakdown of what the perks will be like. Well, a bit more guessing what the perks will be like, so link down in the description, and also should probably just show up randomly at the end. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. What? I just messed up. See you in the next one. Peace out.